Recently, Black Bond put out a video about the Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, talking about multiplayer for it. Now, before I get into my opinion on this, I honestly want to come out and say that this is not an attack video. This is none of that stuff. This is just me expressing a calm disagreement with somebody on the internet. And honestly, I know that, yes, I stutter, I stumble over my words, so please just take some time and just listen to what I have to say. And honestly, I'm just going to try my best to have a bit of a, or at least like voice some of my disagreements with what he said in the video. And honestly, what he said in the video was the fact that honestly, the Tropical Freeze, or at least like Nintendo CEOs, or at least some of the people at Nintendo said that they didn't want to put co-op in, or multiplayer in, online multiplayer in Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze because they feel as if that they would shoehorn it in. Now, he asked the question of how is it that you can shoehorn in online multiplayer in a game, and honestly, you honestly, you pretty much can. You can shoehorn it in, you know, in which that you just slap it in there. You don't care about the net coding. You don't care about how it works. You don't really even care, man, if like that they can find games or kind of give it like this very, very, very confusing AI in which that like people can't even get up, go into matchups and everything. Which honestly, that is a honest thing in which that it can't happen, you know. And most likely, I really don't have too much to say on that aside from it can happen. And honestly, if they were to put online into it, it probably might turn into a thing of like it goes into like they have to update it, they have to keep all this thing, keep all this stuff going in. Honestly, I know that a lot of other games and companies can do it. But however, Nintendo really hasn't really been shown to have all that much experience dealing with online. However, going into the other reason he said of which that he actually said this before, the thing of like online gaming is actually rather potent for friends who don't have reasons or possibly they do live far away and they don't have time to meet up with one another and just sit on a couch and play video games together. I do honestly agree with that because honestly, you know, he said like, man, you know, my friends, they live far away, we all work and everything. See, I man can understand that. However, at the same time, it's honestly a thing of even if you do have online, you still don't necessarily have time, man, to play video games with some of your friends. And honestly, for a game that is like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, you really got to ask the question of like a difficult game like that, and also looking at games like Super Mario World 3D World. You really got to ask the question of like how difficult these games are. People can barely stand playing games like this with people in their own homes. What do you think is going to happen when, man, you put the game online? I mean, at that point, nobody really is going, man, be playing online because, you know, they give you 100 lives and you constantly keep dying like 20 times upon like the same spot. You're going to just keep on running into games in which that people constantly keep on quitting because, you know, they just don't want, because, man, they don't want to constantly keep on losing or keep playing with these same people that they feel who don't have skills. So there's always that. I mean, honestly, I'm just kind of just speaking out upon his video because it almost because like at points it sounds as like he's talking about multiplayer in general, which that I know he's just only talking about like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze and Nintendo and their inability to put online for like a lot of their games. See, I can understand that. However, it did come off as like a broad statement overall with him saying that it's 2014 and honestly, we should have multiplayer in almost every game, which honestly, not every game needs multiplayer. It helps, but not every game needs it. You know, same way like how not every game needs online co-op. They really don't. I mean, like, some games they do, some games it would be a little bit better if it did have it. However, not every game really needs it, because honestly, honestly kind of how the world has been going so far, almost every game, not all of them, but pretty much a lot of them that have come out in the past 2 generations, a lot of them really kind of have negated the fact of honestly trying to focus way more on putting in local co-op, rather than them just saying, yeah, man, there is no local co-op, it's just online co-op. So there's always that. Now, honestly, am I saying that, man, Black Bond is wrong for voicing his opinion? No, I'm not. I mean, honestly, I do kind of, man, respect his opinion, and and I'm trying to treat him with the utmost respect, as I'm trying to have a very audible I'm voicing my very audible disagreement. So that's kind of just a thing. Again, this is not an attack on him. I just disagree with what he said, and most likely, I'm also talking about, man, the same article, and most likely the article itself, really, it doesn't seem all that bad. However, I will say this though, is the fact that if they do ever make a sequel to it, it probably would be something to kind of think of putting in some co-op online on it. However, how they kind of say it in the article, it's almost like that they didn't have time to really do it. So there's always that. And yes, that's kind of the thing there. Even though it doesn't necessarily need it, but you know, I really never really saw a Donkey Kong game as difficult as they are having co-op on them. So really, they don't really need it. So, you know, my last statement, I did kind of like just that thing came out of nowhere. So pretty much Donkey Kong, it doesn't need co-op. So really, that's kind of what I got to say about that. What do you guys think about it? So please tell me down there in the comment section. I'll see you guys on the next John Graham Show. I'm out.